Right, well the plan had actually been to be making a video to demonstrate the nice easy starting I got and a nice steady tick over with the throttle response being spot on with the carburettors synchronized and balanced, and it's all running very well, but instead of making that video I'm making this one because when I tried to start the engine I just couldn't turn the engine via the kickstart. It went down as if the clutch was pulled in. The clutch slip had got that bad. Obviously I'd been running the engine and the engine warmed up, and I suppose it warmed up in here and something expanded or whatever it might have done, I don't know, but I just couldn't get a purchase to turn the engine at all. So I thought I'd better have a look at the clutch, and just as well as I did, I went round to the gearbox side first of all. I slackened off the adjustment at the handlebar, and inside there's a little screw and lock nut adjuster on the push rod actuator. I made sure there was no weight on that, but still the clutch slipped, so I decided I better take the primary cover off and have a look at what was going on in there. And the first thing that struck me was it's got the type of clutch where you can actually adjust the preload on 3 of the pressure plate springs. So I adjusted them right up and I thought, well, that might help. But it made no difference at all. So I thought, right, nothing for it. I'm going to have a look at the clutch plates. And basically, I'll take this lot off. I've sorted the problem now. But basically, I ended up changing these friction plates here for 4 that I had in my stuff. Because it turned out that the dished sort of underside of the pressure plate, this area here, was touching down on this disc before it was putting weight on the pressure plates, or just as it was making contact. But adjusting up the 3 spring preloads made no difference at all, simply because I wasn't actually putting any more weight from the pressure plate onto the clutch plates in the basket, because this here, it was touching down on that literally just as it was making contact with that friction plate, and not applying the full weight from the springs onto the clutch. So these plates, friction plates I've put in, stacked, come to a greater thickness than these, which are pretty worn actually, and a bit sorry for themselves by the looks of it. So I'm going to put it all back together now. The clutch centre nut was loose as well, so I've cleaned everything out in there and put some thread lock on it and done that up really tight in gear against the brake. So that should be alright now. So what I'll probably end up doing next is back off the 3 adjusters back to their softest settings and put the pressure plate back on. I could do that now. Get all the springs back in situ, and I'll probably find that the clutch slip has gone and I should be able to start the engine, and we may well follow up with a video of it running, and I'll show how nicely it runs, although I didn't work a full day on Friday, so this is a Sunday, so I put a couple of hours in on Sunday instead. But it's almost time to knock it on the head anyway, so that might be tomorrow. But that's one to consider with a clutch, is if the pressure plate, if the clutch plates happen to wear down enough that the pressure plate ends up sort of making contact in that area against this before it applies its full pressure to the clutch plates. And it doesn't matter how many springs or how hard springs you might have put in there, nothing would have changed. It would have still slipped because it was coming to a dead stop on that metal disc there before it was putting its full pressure on the clutch plates. So that's just a little one to watch out for on the Royal Enfields especially. That's the first time I've spotted it on one. So you've learned a little, well, you may not have learned, I mean some of you may already know, but I've learnt today, just now, that it can happen, and I'm sharing it with anyone else who didn't know. Thanks for watching.